Kenny, right now, what's missing specifically from your play? This doesn't look like you out there.
Yeah, consistency. They're a great defense. Hats off to them first, but we didn't play, and I didn't play nearly as well enough.
What has to happen? What's missing?
That's a great question. We have to get in and find out.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Coach Walker TV. Now, did y'all just hear what Kenny Pickett said? He doesn't know what's missing. It is week 11, and they don't know what's missing. I tell you what's missing. He's missing. He's MIA right now, and we need to find him. He needs to find himself. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But on today's episode, we're going to cover the Browns versus the Steelers, talk a little bit about Kenny Pickett within this offensive scheme, and a little bit of what I believe Tomlin is doing with not just the offense, but with the Pittsburgh Steelers team currently leaving out of week 11 after taking this tough loss to the Browns. So let's jump right to it. So first, I just want to talk briefly about the Steelers versus the Browns today. First things first, give credit to the Browns. Great defense, number one defense in the league right now, and we see why. That front four is something serious. They gave the Steelers offensive line trouble all day. So I want to give them credit. We already know you have a Steelers offense that's struggling from game to game, struggling to get something going, always throwing the ball to the perimeter, never throwing the ball across the middle of the field. Again, they got into a little bit of that game of throwing these little short screens and again out to the perimeter, going horizontal instead of going vertical. And I have a theory behind that, and I'm gonna cover that in a little bit. But there's a couple things stat wise I just want to talk about that I find interesting from this game, because you can always find the devil in the details, so to speak, when it comes to these stats. So if you look closely, and this is very interesting, because what you have is a team that in the Steelers had 249 total yards, and the Browns had 259 total yards. So you're looking at a 10-yard difference there, right? The Browns, however, were able to get 20 first downs to the Steelers only 12 first downs. 12 first downs, that's not going to get it. Now here's an interesting thing too. The most interesting stat for me was the Browns ran 73 plays. 73 plays. The Steelers ran only 57 plays. But the time of possession was very close, with the Steelers having the ball for 28 minutes, 33 seconds. The Browns having the ball for 31 minutes and 27 seconds. But they were able to get more plays off because they were able to get more first downs. Now, I thought the key to today's game for the Steelers was keeping the ball on the ground. They took it out. They tried to throw it a little bit, but Kenny Pickett's stats today, they were very pedestrian. Just looking at him real quick, he was 15 of 28 for 106 yards. That is not going to get it done. However, if you look at the run game, Jaylen Warren had 129 yards and was averaging 14 yards a carry. And even Najee Harris, with his only 12 carries, was averaging 2.9, 3 yards a carry. Keep the ball on the ground. Keep the ball on the ground. Even in that last drive where they had about a minute and a half left and they threw the ball 3 straight times, I get it. You're in 2 minutes. You're trying to, get down the field fast. But hey, dance with the one who brought you. The run game was strong today, and I don't think they leaned on it enough. I think they should have leaned on it a little bit more. And the game went down to the wire, and the Browns prevailed. So the Steelers' chances of winning the division now are definitely going down. But we're going to talk a little bit more about Pickett and what's going on with this offense. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit in depth about Kenny Pickett. As I just mentioned, his stats today were definitely not great, right? 15 of 28 for 106 yards. That's it. No touchdowns, no interceptions. What Kenny Pickett has become, in my eyes, is a NFL backup quarterback, and he's a game manager type of guy. He's the guy that you want to be your game manager. He's not turning the ball over, but he's not making big plays either. He's still missing receivers. He's still missing some reads. Kenny Pickett's production is not where it should be. You heard him a second ago just say he doesn't even know what's missing. I don't get that. At week 11, you don't know what's missing. You don't know what's going on. What are you talking to with your coaches? Like, what are you guys talking about? Every time we look up, you guys are throwing a screen. You're throwing the ball out to the perimeter. It's 3rd and 5, and you're throwing the ball short to a running back coming out the backfield that's 3 yards short of the first down. Like, we have to take this man off the leash. So with that being said, I do want to bring up an interesting headline that I saw come across my social media feeds regarding the Steelers from the Steeler Depot. And what it mentioned was Canada and Pickett may be following a conservative directive from Mike Tomlin himself. So maybe this is Tomlin's doing. And it's not just Pickett. Maybe Pickett's a little frustrated. Maybe he wants to be let loose a little bit. Maybe Canada does want to let him loose. Maybe Canada has a whole nother set of plays and another game plan for him, but maybe Tomlin's not letting him do it. So I want to talk about that next. So now, when it comes to Mike Tomlin, here's my theory as a coach. Again, this is Coach Walker TV. I am a coach, and I kind of like to think of these situations from a coaching perspective. Here's what I think Tomlin is doing after watching today's game and watching how he handled the offense in the Browns game. It appears that Tomlin understands that his offense isn't great, and he understands that his quarterback is not that guy. His quarterback is a game manager, as I previously mentioned. He's more of like a backup type quarterback. And what I think is happening with the Steelers Depot headline coming across my screen that mentioned that Mike Tomlin may be giving the directives to a Canada and a Pickett on how to run the offense. I think he's doing that because since he understands that his offense is not very productive, he's trying to manage the season and manage the games that way by saying, hey, I can't just let him throw the ball around the yard. I got to try to keep games close so we can try to win in the end. I really believe that's what's going on in Mike Tomlin's head, because that's what we're seeing. The games are always close. We know that the Steelers are not going to come out and score 30 and 40 points. But I feel like Mike Tomlin is telling Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett, listen, I'm gonna keep this offense conservative. I'm not going to take you off the leash yet. I'm not going to let you just, get out there and throw the ball all over the yard, because he may feel like, hey, if he does that, he doesn't trust him. So he feels like if he does that, maybe Pickett makes a few more mistakes, puts the team and defense in binds, and maybe Tomlin feels like he can control the situation by keeping his offense conservative and doing just enough to keep games close till the end, and then try to win at the end. And so that's what I think is going on. So how about this? Y'all let me know what y'all think is going on in Mike Tomlin's head right now. But I feel like from a coaching perspective, that's not a bad idea. That's something that maybe I would even try to do. Say, man, we're not going to win a lot of games by putting up 30 and 40 points, but we can still win games if we keep them close. However, as we can see, like what happened today, there's going to be some games where even when you keep it close to the end, you're not going to get all of them. But y'all let me know what y'all think Tomlin is thinking. As always, please subscribe, like, share, comment, and I'll get with y'all next time. Peace.